Hello everyone. Today in this video we'll be discussing about numeric category of data types. Okay. So in numeric category we have already discussed in the previous video. There are three types basically. One is the int, and the second one is the float, and the third one is complex. Okay. So we can initialize those like this. So here num is an integer variable, whereas weight is a float variable. And similarly, this comp is a complex variable. Okay, so let's execute this. And if we see, we are not getting any kind of error. Now let's see the type of each of those. So it is showing it as int, that's fine. And similarly, it is showing as float. This is also fine. And this is complex. And let's see about typecasting. Uh, we can convert like this uh, float variable to integer because this 70 part, if you wanted to get, then you can convert that using typecasting. That is, to the int function, you will be passing this weight. Okay. Similarly, this number you can convert it to float. That is, 1000 will become 1000.0 like that. Okay. And similarly, you can convert it into complex as well. So let's see how those will be looking after converting. So basically this weight is previous value 70.32 and now it's 70. Similarly number previously it's 1000, now it's 1000.0. That means it became a float value. Similarly, let's see about the complex. So previously num is 1000, now it's 1000 plus 0 into j. J is nothing but I, which is square root of 1, square root of minus 1, sorry. Okay. And similarly, for float numbers also, you can convert them into complex. Let's see how we can do. So like this we can do, but reverse we can't be doing. So let's see if we try to do reverse, what we will be getting. So it is giving us type error because integer, this function will not be accepting uh, complex data type. Okay, it will be either accepting sorry, float or string also. Within string, if you have only numbers, then you can use in case of string also. Okay. And let's see this also, what will begin. So here also it is giving error because like to this float function you can't send this complex because in this complex we have this imaginary part also apart from the real part. That's why these will be giving us type errors. So let's see about some basic operators in Python that can be done on these like integer, float, and complex. So if we take two float numbers like 5.2 and 10.4, then we can do addition like this, and similarly we can do subtraction, and this is multiplication. You might not be knowing this. It is basically power operator. Okay, it means the number one part number two. Okay, so the value will be this much. So to understand that, let's give a small values like in some time. For now, we'll continue like this. We can also divide that. So while division, this division will be float division. Here it is 5.2 and 10.4. So we'll be getting zero point 0.5. Let's say even though these two are integers also, we'll be getting float values only. But if let in case of C or C++, if both are integers and we are trying to divide them, then it will only give integer value. So you also want same kind of operator, that is our double slash this one. This will give us only integer, okay? So only this part of it. So that is about this. And similarly, you can't do this operation because in case of number two, the number two value will be zero and it's in the denominator. So it'll give this error zero division error. And similarly, you can't do this operation also. So this will also give the same error. So we have seen all these operations with float values. Let's change them to integers and let's see. Okay. So let's make it 5 and 10. So it is giving 15, yeah, and it's minus 5, and it should be 50, and it is 5 power 10 value. So let's give small value to check whether it is power or not. So 2 power 5. Okay. It should be 7, and then minus 3, and then 10, and 2 power 5 should be 32. Let's see whether we are getting that or not. Yeah, we are getting 32. And similarly, 2 by 5 will be how much? It will be zero point 0.4. So it is giving zero point 0.4. But like if num1 and num2 are integers, if we do the same operation in C or C++ or in Java, we'll be getting the answer 0. But here it is giving us zero point 0.4. Okay. So it will, whatever, even if these two are integers also, the answer might be in float. But if you want them to be integers, then you should pass this operator. So here it is giving 0. You can clearly observe that. And similarly, anyway, you can't do these operations because these will give zero division error because number 2 is 0. So let's see modulo operator. In modulo operator also you can use like this. So 5 mod 10 will be 5 and 50 mod 10 will be 0 and 50 mod 9 how much it will be? It will be 5 because 9 5s are 45 and 5 extra modulo remainder will be getting. And similarly, let's see this. Minus 5% 10 will be 5 and minus 10% 3 will be 2. Here you might be thinking like it should be 7, but let's see how like these modulo values are changing when we are going backwards. So this will be similar to for int I equal to 0, I less than or sorry, it will be greater than or equal to minus 20 equal to what will not be there and I minus minus. So this for loop is equivalent to this. Okay. So here what we are trying to do, this range will give us the values between 0 to minus 20, like excluding minus 20. So you will get 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 till minus 19. And here we are telling from 0 to next one how much we have to move. We are saying minus 1, that's why it is going in negative direction. Basically, by default, it will be plus 1. So it will accept this number should be more than this one. But if you want to go to backwards, then you can keep minus values like this. So this I will have values 0, minus 1, minus 2 like that till minus 19. So let's execute this and see. Okay. So on executing this, first initially we'll have 0 value. For that, the modulo value is 0 that we can clearly observe over here. And here, second number will be minus 1. And for minus 1, we might think it will be mod, like it should be 1, but it is not the case. For that, it should be 6. Basically, like it is minus 1. Wait, I'll show you this. So basically, for minus 1 mod 7 will be minus 1. Okay. Similarly, minus 2 mod 7 will be minus 2. Minus, this is 1, okay. And minus 3 mod 7 is minus 3. Minus 4 mod 7 is minus 4. And similarly, minus 5 mod 7 is minus 5. And minus 6 mod 7 is minus 6 and minus 7 mod 7 will be 0. Okay. So for that we'll not be like we'll accept these values should be in positives. So every time 7 will be added for all this. Okay. Like that on adding 7 for all of these value we will get values like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then 0. And then again it will start with 6. I hope you guys understood like how you are getting these values 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So let's continue to the next part. And here in case of C or C++, you can't give like float values in case of modulus, but here you can also give float values here. So these are reminder values when dividing this number with 2. Similarly, this will be the reminder when you are dividing this with this, and similarly this. And you can also create a complex number like this. Okay, you can give complex of this will be coming in real part, and this will come as imaginary part. Okay, let's see. So a complex is will look like this, and from the complex number you can access real part and imaginary part like this. So if we exclude this, we'll get 8.23. Yeah. And similarly, if we exclude this, you'll get 5.78. Okay. And there is something called conjugate of a complex number. So for this, the conjugate will be 8.23 minus 5.78. Okay. That will be a conjugate. So if we see that it's 8.23 minus 5.78. Similarly, for any complex number, if you wanted to get conjugate, you can use this function. And you can create another complex number like this, and on those you can apply operations such kind of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And this is not supported in case of complex numbers. Okay. And similarly, this operation is also not supported because we are trying to divide one complex number with integer, and this is also not supported. So let's see modulo. So this modulo operation also cannot be supported by complex numbers. Okay. And there is some library called as math, with which we can work on integer and float values. And this math has variety of functions such as square root, exponential, ceil, floor, uh, like trigonometric functions, log functions, like so many functions will be there. Like whatever you can think of in math, most probably all those functions will be there. So now let's see a few of those. All we can't cover obviously because it is very exhaustive and there will be so many functions over in math. So we'll be showing you some functions. So let's see, we are taking math dot square root of num1 that is 72. So square root of 72 will be this much. Okay. And similarly, this is e power x value. Okay. So it will be e power 86.7 is this much. So you might be thinking, why is it 4.5? It's not 4.5. At last, it is into e power 37. You can think of it like into 10 power 37. Okay. So this large value it is. And similarly, there is ceil. Ceil is nothing but for this value, it will give next larger integer value. And similarly, 4, where 4 is like for this number, it will give next smaller number. That will be 86. Okay. That is about ceil and floor. And there is something called combination, which will take two numbers and apply NCR on it. It like this value will be number one, C, number two. So let's see its value. And it is giving type error because Here one is integer and the other is float. In combination, we can't use float numbers. That's why it is giving type error. So let's go with the integers and let's see the values. So here it is giving 21. So let's see, let's confirm whether it is 21 or not. So 7 factorial by 2 factorial into 5 factorial. So this and this cancel, and in numerator we have 7 into 6, and this 2 factorial and this 3 will get 3. So 7 3s are 21. Okay. Yeah, this and this are matching. So that is nothing but NCR value. Okay. Now let's see factorial. We have factorial also. And similarly, we'll have LCM, GCD, and so many things will be there. And in case of factorial, we can't pass float values, okay? Because factorial is nothing but 5 factorial is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Like that it will go. But if we give 5.2, it will can't go like 4.2 like that. So for float numbers, factorial can't be applied. And similarly, if you see all these functions, you can't apply it on complex numbers because math function is built on integers and floats, but not on complex. So for that, there is some other library called as CMath. So in CMath, you will be having almost all these functions, which can be supported on complex numbers, and they have built this. So in CMath, you can have square root, all this. So let's see whether these are working or not. So if you see square root is working, exponent is working, log is working. So on complex numbers, you can apply all these values. So here, if we see what I'm trying to do, I'm using math library and trying to do log on this complex number. It's just to show you demo that if you use math on complex numbers, it will not work. So for complex numbers, you have to go with CMath library. Okay. I hope you guys liked this video and enjoyed it. Thank you.